Foreignpolicy.com has an incredible article out about the disturbing fundamentalism of Prime Minister Modi in India. They say, quote, in late September, a Hindu mob in the northern Indian town of Dadri killed Muhammad Akhlaq, a 50-year-old Indian Muslim, for allegedly consuming and storing beef. In August 2014, Hindu extremists killed a Muslim man in North India after police charged him with the crime of slaughtering a cow. And in March 2015, a new video showing a Muslim man tied with a noose, beaten, and forced to praise the Hindu deity Ram went viral. The man's crime was buying and selling cows. A top official in Modi's ruling BJP called the killing an unfortunate accident, even though it was murder. All right, so let's stop here and reflect on this for a second. The rhetoric of his party is not, outraged, hey, we need to fix this problem, hey, we need to change our mindset, we can't go killing people because of cows. No, they said it was a, quote, unfortunate accident. Guys, it was a lynching. They hit this poor guy over the head with his wife's sewing machine, and then a mob beat him until he fucking died. So we're talking about a lynching. A murderous mob here, and the ruling party in India said, well, it was an unfortunate accident. They say, quote, we are more attached to the cow than our own children, a Save the Cow member and the local state secretary of the BJP youth wing told the New York Times. Whoa. They said it. That's not me caricaturing or extrapolating on their words. No, we are more attached to the cow than our own children. All right, let's continue. Hindus regard the cow as an object of reverence, and many see its consumption as an abomination. After Akhlaq's murder, BJP legislator Raja Singh tweeted the sections from the Hindu text, the Vedas, that mandates killing people who slaughter cows. Good googly moogly. So after they killed this poor guy for allegedly having cow meat, let's be clear, he actually didn't have it. That was part of the article when we covered it last time. They do that, and then they're like, oh, and here's part of my religious text which says it's totally cool that we did this, so back off. And he thinks that's an argument. He's like, oh, gotcha, see, it's in my religious text, so I win. No, you don't win. I don't give a shit if it's in your religious text. That doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean we should base laws off of it. They say in recent speeches, Modi has condemned the widespread murder of cows. Quote, the widespread murder of cows. This is what he's condemning. But since taking office as prime minister in May 2014, he has never directly condemned the killing of Muslims. Now, they go on to say, to give numbers on that, to give specifics, and how big of a problem it is, the violence against Muslims in India. Muslims are about 14% of the population, and the problem now is Hindu fundamentalists are emboldened, and they're pushing for even more draconian laws that just outlaw any negative thing in any way ever towards cows. And, reading this, the main takeaway again is, well, there's two main takeaways. Number one, the right-wingers are the problem here. It's the fundamentalists and the far right that seemingly are a problem everywhere. And thing number two is, yet again, a clear example of the power of belief. So, as we talked about in the Vice News piece with the former gay radical Muslim, and how he described how he came to believe what he believed, and it's the same thing in this case. Guys, this is what happens if you're raised in a religion or in a culture or in a society that teaches you from day one that this is what you're supposed to believe. Cows are sacred. You can never question that. That's off the table. Any person who does anything wrong in any way against a cow, if they eat it or hurt it, whatever, that person deserves death. If you're taught that from day one of your life, you're going to fucking believe it. And if you believe it, as Sam Harris always says, beliefs have consequences. And this is a perfect example of beliefs having consequences. To the point where the guy who's the leader of India gives speeches where he's like, the problem here is how our sacred cows are not being treated right. When there's been a bunch of examples of people being lynched, people being killed, violence against people because of alleged things against cows, the problem in his mind is not, oh, these poor people, these poor Muslims in this case. No, the problem is why can't they fucking respect my beliefs and respect these cows? What the fuck? They don't believe what you believe. This is what it all comes down to. Guys, understand that secularism is a civil liberty. So you have a right to secularism. Secularism just means neutral government on religious issues. So the Christians can't force Christian law on you. The Muslims can't force Sharia law on you. The Hindus can't force Hindu law on you, where apparently you can't do anything wrong against cows. You can have your beliefs. I don't agree with your beliefs. I think they're wrong. You can have your beliefs that, oh, cows are sacred and this and that. But the second you start physically hurting other people or taking away other people's rights as a result of your mythical bullshit, well, then that's a problem for everybody. And the issue here, again, is the fundamentalism. And it's not always the case. Sometimes it is the case, but it's not always the case that there's some logical geopolitical grievance that leads to people being violent. Sometimes it really is just you're brainwashed from when you're young and your beliefs are troublesome and you act on them in the real world, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And this story is really important, I think, because it also shines a light on something we don't talk much about. I think people are well aware, because we've seen it time and time again, of what fundamentalist Christians can do and what some of their most hideous, grotesque beliefs are, what fundamentalist Muslims do. We see that all the time. We talk about it all the time. And, we usually don't see it in other contexts as well. So people might get the misimpression that, fundamentalism is specific to some religions but not others, and also tribalism as a result of fundamentalism is only specific to some religions. No, I mean, based on the text, based on the beliefs, you can act horribly, or just based on the tribalism that comes about as a result of your fundamentalism, you can act horribly. And here we have a case of both. The beliefs are troublesome themselves and they're wrong, but then also the tribalism that comes about as well as a result of that is bad and wrong. So this is something that we should speak out against. I mean, obviously, you guys know this is no cause for military intervention in India. It's not our job to police everybody for everything and all their problems. But let's face it, this is a problem, and this is something that needs to be addressed, and you can only hope that the left and the more secular voices prevail in India, and it's about time people stop treating Prime Minister Modi like he's some sort of genius. I mean, this is a guy who gets a lot of praise from the media. I don't know why. This is an example of a lot of the troubling beliefs that he has and the fact that he's backed by Hindu fundamentalists, and they support grotesque things like this.